I think Dutes had recognized that, and he thought that maybe it would be best for Jamie to take away his leadership role, and he then asked me if I wanted to take it on, and I was more than happy. I was more than happy taking over the captaincy of such a storied franchise, and it was an honour.
There's a massive sense of pride runs through me every time I'm first out the tunnel with the lads behind me, going to play, whether it's Hibs, Airdrie, whoever it may be. It's a great feeling every week, and I don't think that'll ever change. I grew up watching like gigs and Scholes, but my favourite player, I really enjoyed watching Beckham. I really idolised David Beckham. I thought his range of passing, his overall ability was unquestionable, and his attitude towards the game is he still looks as hungry as ever, and I definitely idolised Beckham, and most of that Man United team Scholes as well. But one of the best players I watched growing up as well was Zidane. I loved watching Zidane. He was just different class, absolutely different class.
I think there was mainly two that I did when growing up. Obviously, Wayne Gretzky. He was, I grew up in an oil town up in northern Alberta, which was close to Edmonton, and him playing in the 80s, obviously, and winning Stanley Cups and being the best player who ever lived. He was a guy I idolized and looked up to. Another guy was Stevie Yzerman, who, for other reasons, as I got older, I just admired how much of a leader he was and how hard he played, and he played the game the right way. And I don't know if there was maybe a better leader than Stevie Yzerman. I mean, he spent his whole career with the same club, and was basically the face of that franchise for 2 decades.
I like captains that lead by example. Not so much the big people, like big players that shout at folk, that are organisers. I mean, don't get me wrong, you've got to have them, but I like people that lead by example. Your Steven Gerrards and your Roy Keanes. They can be loud, but it's what they do on the pitch that drives the team on, that leads them, that they score important goals, they make important challenges, they do a bit of everything, and that's how I feel. That's what I feel a captain is. Somebody that digs the team out the hole when they need it, or leads them on. Like I said, Gerrard's one of the best examples I can think of. Just a complete all-round player with a fantastic attitude towards the game, and a true leader.
I've always been kind of a vocal guy, but I've also been able to be a guy that goes up and tends to, do what I preach, and a leader, I think, has to lead by example, and usually through example it's hard work. And I've always been a hard worker, and whether it's being vocal or leading by example, you got to make sure that you're doing it night in, night out. Because if you take a night off, then guys start thinking, well, if he's not doing it, I don't have to do it, or why is he preaching when he's not doing it? So I think that's how it's kind of molded me into the kind of guy I am.
I remember really well, actually. I was sitting in the changing room, just normal. We were going up to train up at the school, and we were sitting in the changing room waiting, told to go up. We were just sitting having our usual banter in the changing room, and the gaffer came in and shouted me. And usually when that happens, you get the old, like for the boys walking out, tail between the legs, what have I done wrong? And I sat down, and the gaffer, he didn't really say anything, he just threw me the armband. I just stared at it, and he started talking, he started telling me why he gave me it, and I don't really know if I heard a word he said. I was still sitting staring at this blue armband in front of me. I was overjoyed. I mean, I wanted to jump about his office screaming and shouting, but obviously I was a bit stunned, a bit surprised. So that's how it came about, and like I said, I can remember it very well because it's one of the biggest things I've achieved in my career so far. So,
at the start of the year they had Jamie Wilson as captain, and who did as good his job as he could, and it wasn't a matter of he's not a leader, but it was a case where those guys had a big jump. They were moving up, 3 levels of hockey, and I think he was worried a little bit more about the leadership and kind of like had a tough time balancing that in his game, and Jamie Wilson struggled the first couple months, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying that, and because lately he's been fantastic. I think he's been one of our best players the last month, and so I think Dutz had recognized that, and he thought that maybe it would be best for Jamie to take away his leadership role, and he then asked me if I wanted to take it on, and I was more than happy. I was more than happy taking over the captaincy of such a storied franchise, and it was an honor.
Yeah, I've got an armband, but at the end of the day, you're a player in a squad. It does change my mentality towards, you really can't go hiding in games. You shouldn't, obviously, no matter who you are, but you're more aware that people do look to you to change things when maybe the chips are down, or vice versa. So it kind of, I think it has brought a character out of me that I didn't really know was there.
Well, I think to help out here and there, he's being Fife's first season. We always knew that these guys, it's gonna be a big jump, and not just a big jump, but for them to learn and get better. And I think from an everyday basis, it's helping out on the ice when I can. If I see little things, showing them, instructing a little bit and giving them my opinion, just kind of giving them a better idea about the league, what it takes to succeed in this league. Just things like that. And, as for the other imports, I don't like to separate the Brits and imports. I know a lot of that goes on, but I think the main thing as a leader is by, again, leading by example, but also holding everybody else accountable. And, especially, the older guys, the imports, who might come in with a little bit of swagger and think that they can do whatever they want and get away with what they want. And it's my job to kind of keep those guys in place and in check, and to make sure that they're showing up every night just like everybody else.
Sadly, no. I genuinely have always fancied a shot of it, because I'm not bad on a pair of ice skates in terms of just skating about with your mates when I've done it when I was younger. But the American games interest me quite a lot, like especially the NFL, but the hockey looks exciting, to say the least. So,
including the goalkeeper, like in a starting lineup, how many players make up a football team?
I believe it's 11.
Yeah.
I only know that because of FIFA.
Okay,
FIFA. Yeah, I used to play as well when I was younger, so
yeah,
a little bit.
Including the goalkeeper, which is called a netminder in hockey, how many players make up an ice hockey team?
I'm going to say 6.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I knew that.
Good. There are 4 professional football teams in Fife. You've got Cowdenbeath, Wraith Rovers from Crookery, East Fife, and what other team?
Dunfermline.
Yeah, well, good. There are 4 Scottish teams in the Elite Ice Hockey League. Right, you've got like the Fife Flyers, Braehead Clansmen, Dundee Stars, and Edinburgh What?
Oh, it's horrible. I bet you I've heard it as well. What were the other 3 again, sorry?
You've got Fife Flyers, Braehead Clansmen, Dundee Stars, and Edinburgh's got a team as well.
Edinburgh, this is going to be an absolute guess, the pick of the bunch. Edinburgh Warriors. That's all I've got.
Capitals.
Oh.
It's Cowdenbeath are Fife's oldest football club. What year were they established in?
Right after the war, 1919.
1881.
Not even close.
Fife Flyers are the oldest hockey club in the UK. What year were they established?
1948.
1938.
Oh, come on.
What is the nationality of Cowdenbeath coach Colin Cameron?
Cameron. Irish?
Scottish.
Scottish.
Good question. What nationality is the Fife Flyers coach Todd Dutium?
Dutch.
Canadian.
Of course he is.
Last one is, the name of the Cowdenbeath mascot is Bluebell. What kind of animal is Bluebell?
Bluebell. Sheep.
A cow.
Cow.
The name of the Fife Flyers mascot is Sam. What kind of animal is Sam?
Flyers. Oh, the pressure. I'll say eagle.
It's a bear.
I was going with Flyers.
I just wanted to take this time to thank all our great fans in Fife for supporting the team so far in the season. It's been a bit of a struggle, and we've had our ups and downs, but you guys have stuck through us, and we've actually showed up with more numbers recently, which we really appreciate, and I think that's going to help us push towards our playoff run.
Finally, just a massive thanks to the Cowdenbeath supporters for supporting us superbly throughout this season so far, coming in, week out, home and away, to support the club, and it's part of the reason why we're sitting where we are in the league just now, and hopefully if you can continue to do it throughout the season, we'll repay that effort with a league trophy.
Also, I'd like to wish Jon Robertson with Cowdenbeath Football Club the best on getting promoted this season, and hopefully they finish off their season in winning style.
Just a special mention to Danny Stewart and the Fife Flyers. Good luck, obviously, with the rest of your season. Hopefully you can achieve a playoff place by the end of your hockey season. So good luck with that, lads. All the best.